Hey there friends! If you're a green card holder or know someone who is, this video is really important. Picture this. You just landed in the US after visiting family abroad. You're tired, maybe thinking about grabbing a coffee or seeing your kids again. But as you walk through immigration, an officer stops you. Suddenly, you're being asked questions you didn't expect. Before you know it, you're pulled aside, your heart's racing, and your simple return home turns into a tense interview. Scary? Yes. But this is happening more often than you might think. Many green card holders assume their entry back into the US is automatic. But it's not. Even though you're a lawful permanent resident, border officers can question you every time you arrive. And sometimes what seems like a small mistake in your answers can turn into a big problem. That's why understanding what to expect and how to respond calmly can save you a lot of stress and even protect your status. So let's imagine this together. You've handed over your passport and green card. The officer looks at you and asks, "Where did you travel to?" Or "How long were you gone?" Seems like small talk, right? But your answer can make all the difference. If you say you were gone for 6 months or longer, that might immediately raise questions. The officer could start wondering if you still live in the US, or if you're spending most of your time somewhere else. Even being away for less than 6 months can be questioned if it looks like your real home isn't in the US. Maybe you've been helping family overseas, or working abroad, both valid reasons. But if your explanation isn't clear, the officer might think you've abandoned your residency. And that's where things get complicated. One question that catches many people off guard is, where do you live? You might hesitate, especially if you've been between homes, staying with friends, or just moved. But to the officer, not being able to clearly name your US residence can be a red flag. It could look like you no longer have strong ties to the country. That's why it's smart to keep simple proof of your life in the US, like a rental agreement, utility bill, or even pay stubs that show you live and work here. Then there's another tricky one. Where do you work? It might sound like small talk, but it's not. The officer wants to see that you're actually living and contributing in the US. If you've been unemployed or working overseas, that's fine. Just be honest and explain why. The key is to sound consistent, confident, and truthful. Now let's be real. Airport questioning can be stressful. Maybe English isn't your first language, or you're nervous and accidentally mix up your words. That's completely okay. What's important is to stay calm. If you don't understand a question, don't guess. Just say politely, "I'm sorry, could you please repeat that?" Officers respect honesty and clarity more than rushed or confusing answers. Something else you should know. Immigration officers already have your travel history in front of them. Every trip in and out of the country is recorded. So even if you forget a date, they can see the exact timeline. If they notice you've been making frequent or long trips abroad, they might ask why. Again, your answers matter. You don't have to over-explain. Just show that your main life, your home, your work, your community, is still in the US. Let me share a quick story. A green card holder once told me they'd been living in the US for over a decade, but took an 8-month trip to care for a sick parent. When they came back, the officer questioned them for over an hour, asking for proof of their life in the US. They didn't have much with them. No pay stubs, no bills, nothing. The officer gave them a warning, saying that next time, they might not be allowed back. They were shocked. They thought being away for less than a year was fine, but didn't realize that what mattered most was showing they still truly lived in America. So what happens if you get pulled into secondary inspection? First, don't panic. It doesn't always mean you're in trouble. Sometimes officers just need to double-check your information or confirm something in your record. Stay respectful, answer calmly, and if you ever feel unsure or pressured to sign something, you have the right to ask for an immigration attorney before doing so. Most green card problems at the airport don't come from criminal issues. They come from confusion, unclear answers, missing documents, or not understanding how re-entry works. So before your next trip, take a few minutes to get ready. Make sure your US address, job details, and tax records are up to date. Keep simple documents that prove your ties here. That's your safety net if questions come up. Remember, holding a green card gives you amazing opportunities to live, work, and travel freely, but it also comes with responsibility. The government wants to make sure that you still intend to make the US your permanent home. That's really the heart of every question they ask at the border. So next time you're getting ready to travel, be confident. Know your answers. Bring a few documents that show your US ties and stay calm during questioning. The officer's job is to verify your status, not to scare you, and your job is to show that your home, your heart, and your life are right here in the United States.